allegedly forced to appear in a mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a mask standing here in front of me?"
And then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy?
I actually met Beyonce before. That was one of the people like who you met. You know what I'm saying? That like it threw you out, like it took you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib.
Beyonce and Jay.
Yeah.
I know that you are pretty close to them.
Yes.
I wonder, have you been able to reach out? Have you been able to say anything to them?
That definitely. It's a big moment for like our whole crew, our whole inner circle, you know?
And this Jay-Z is great. If you don't get that, you need that like you need the Bible and the Quran. I mean, if you got a problem with it, you gotta come see me. Take that.
So Beyonce is running for cover as a bombshell new lawsuit has just dropped against Diddy, and the details are beyond disturbing. A man claimed he was trapped, degraded, and raped at one of Diddy's parties back in 2015. And here's the shocking part. He says Beyonce was right there watching the alleged humiliation ritual before the grape, and now Hollywood insiders are whispering about something even more explosive, the existence of a secret tape that could prove Beyonce witnessed everything. What's even more suspicious is that Jay-Z's lawyer immediately issued a statement saying that Jay didn't attend that party. However, he said nothing about Beyonce, and so far she's stayed completely silent on these allegations. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because now more industry insiders are coming forward and claiming they witnessed Beyonce at these bizarre parties where not all guests were legal adults. So what's really going on here is Jay-Z throwing his wife under the bus. And what really happened at that party where Beyonce allegedly witnessed Diddy grape a man? Let's break this down.
There he was allegedly forced to appear in a mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a mask standing here?"
Just when Jay-Z and Beyonce thought they managed to dodge Diddy's legal drama, it looks like the storm is far from over. A new lawsuit was just filed by a man who says he was at one of Diddy's parties, had an adult toy strapped to his face, and was then allegedly raped. And this man claims Beyonce saw him just before it all happened. According to court documents obtained by People, the accuser Joseph Manzaro says someone spiked his drink before he was taken to a house on Star Island in Miami for Diddy's son Christian's birthday in April 2015. At the time, the house was owned by musicians Gloria Estefan and her husband Elio Monero. Alleges that Gloria saw him looking unwell and told someone to call an ambulance, but Elio stepped in and practically silenced her. Monero also says he ran into LeBron James in a hallway, and LeBron reportedly said, "Y'all better do something about that." The lawsuit claims that Manzaro was then taken through an underground tunnel to Diddy's mansion by former adult film star Audria English, who's also named in the case. Manzaro says that when he started to regain some awareness, he realized he was in a room with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and that's when Beyonce allegedly asked why there was a half-naked white man standing in front of her with an adult toy strapped to his face. According to Manzaro, someone responded that it was a punishment, and that Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches. The lawsuit further claims that Diddy later ordered for Manzaro to be humiliated in front of other party guests before he was stripped and made to wear a thong and had a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zipped closed over his head. The lawsuit states a locking adult device was affixed to the mask which protruded from his mouth. Plaintiff was then subjected to degrading and non-consensual acts. In his complaint, Manzaro described the event as a freak-off. Now here's where it gets even sketchier for the Carters. Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro quickly shut down the claims, saying Jay-Z wasn't even in Miami when this happened. But here's the interesting part. Spiro didn't say anything about Beyonce, and when reporters reached out for a comment, her team refused to respond. Now hold up, why is Jay-Z only defending himself while staying completely silent when it comes to Beyonce? But if you think this is crazy, wait until you hear what former NFL player Larry Johnson claims he saw at another bizarre party with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Johnson alleged that back in the early 2000s he attended a late-night rap party hosted by the Carters in Colorado, and according to him, there were young people there who were clearly not adults, and he remembers Beyonce making a very disturbing comment.
I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado. and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. We were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to have been like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So there was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remain. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
If you're wondering how Larry Johnson would even know any of this, well, he and Jay-Z were reportedly very close until Jay suddenly cut him off. And this reportedly happened after Larry started promoting conspiracy theories that many accused of being anti-Semitic. But there are still plenty of receipts proving that Larry and Jay were tight back in the day. In fact, their relationship was so close that some insiders even speculated that they were more than just friends. Now, most media reports about their friendship have mysteriously disappeared from the internet. However, one article from 2009 published by 97 The Beat was titled, "Is Jay-Z Gay?" And in the article, an anonymous source who claimed to work at Trump Tower alleged that Jay and Larry were actually living together at the time. The insider said, "I am writing you to ask a question. I work in the building where Jay-Z lives, Trump Tower, and though he and B are together, I've never seen her in his building, but what's strange to me, I see Larry Johnson all the time. In fact, he lives with Jay-Z. The other night, they attended Kavanagh's games. When did they become so close? And why is Larry living with Jay? I have some video footage from my phone of them together in the building. Is Jay gay? To be clear, this doesn't 100% prove that Larry Johnson is telling the truth about seeing Beyonce and Jay-Z at that creepy party with young people, but one thing's for sure, Larry and Jay definitely had some kind of friendship back in the day. But CJ has this habit of cutting off friends and then gaslighting the public, claiming he never even knew them. In fact, Jay is still out here denying he was ever even close with Diddy, even though there are a ton of receipts that say otherwise. After Jay's name popped up in that lawsuit with Jane Doe, who accused him of raping her when she was just 13, he actually had his lawyer Alex Spiro come out and publicly say there was no friendship between him and Diddy.
Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case. And there's nothing more to say.
But even if the allegations from Jane Doe against Jay-Z aren't true, there's no way he can deny that he and Diddy were friends, unless Jay has a whole different definition of what friendship means. Because let's be real, none of this is adding up. Diddy was out here calling Jay his extended family and saying Jay was his strategist, the first person he calls when he's in trouble.
Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This my brother. It's B.I.G's brother. Yes, sir. It's Brooklyn's own Brooklyn.
And then there's that viral clip where Diddy talked about how Jay skipped Blue Ivy's recital just so he could perform at Bad Boy's 20th anniversary show.
Reached out to him, and I told him that this right here my strategist right here. This my brother. This B.I.G.'s brother.
So Jay is out here claiming he and Diddy were never friends, yet he ditched a major moment in his daughter's life just to be on stage with him. And let's not forget how during Diddy's 2023 carpool karaoke with James Corden, he straight up said that Jay's one of the only people besides his mom who gets to call him by his real name.
Not approved.
No, you're not. I love you, but Sean is a whole
there yet. I appreciate that. I'm not there yet.
You know, yeah.
Who is Sean approved from the world of entertainment?
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
Also, just months before Cassie's lawsuit dropped in November 2023, Diddy received a BET Lifetime Achievement Award, and Jay-Z recorded a heartfelt tribute for him. And looking back at it, it almost seemed like Diddy was making sure everyone knew how close he and Jay were before all the drama hit.
The whole mantra can't stop, won't stop. It's like, you gotta be relentless, you gotta have it crazy, you can't take no for an answer, you gotta make it happen. You body. There's this guy from the neighborhood similar to where I've grown up that made it to these unreachable heights. What was the first one that came through and made us feel like, you know, it was us. It was ghetto families. We took our rightful place at tables and courtrooms and fashion shows. And, you know, we arrived. That impact obviously had an effect on all of us. And let us carve our own space. And it was like, oh, we could be in these spaces without assimilating. We don't be in these spaces as ourselves. To change someone's mindset and take the limits off of kids' dreams. When you dream about things, when you see it done, then you know that dream becomes attainable and it's something that you can reach for. It just feels like the ultimate culture. You can't measure that. It's like you get in there and make you believe it.
And what's wild is that Jay even agreed to record that public tribute in the first place. We all know he doesn't just do that for anyone. Plus, with all the power and connections Jay has, it's hard to believe he didn't know Cassie was about to file that lawsuit. So now for him to turn around and say he and Diddy weren't even friends, people are definitely raising their eyebrows. On top of that, a bunch of people in the industry have already spoken out about how close Jay was to Diddy. And of course, 50 Cent was the first to call out Jay. Just one day after Diddy's homes were raided last year, 50 posted a photo of Jay on a milk carton, suggesting there's something fishy about Jay's sudden disappearance. 50 wrote in the caption, "Anybody seen Jay?" LOL. Puff said he ain't answering his phone, LOL. But 50 didn't stop there. He later shared another photo of Jay-Z waving on the red carpet and wrote, "Here is Jay-Z last reported seen waving at Puffy Jet, LOL." And then 50's longtime friend Tony Yo joined the conversation during a recent Vlad TV interview, saying, "It's crazy how quickly Jay-Z is trying to act like he and Diddy were never close."
You see him at mad parties together, but when you look at it, right, really think about it. Diddy only go to what's that? He have his brunch, he be having, right?
The Rock Nation brunch.
Diddy go to that, you see Diddy go to that, and Jay, and then Diddy will have an all-white party and Jay go to that.
Jay goes to that.
So it's like the same parties they go to. So I guess he feel like it's not his man. I don't know. I don't care about the industry. That's the thing about me. Trust me, nothing bothers me. Nothing bothers me at all. I promise you that. So for me, it's like, I guess that's not his man. Because that was, I don't know who put that out there. It could be rumors.
His lawyer said that.
I mean,
his lawyer said that Jay and Diddy do not have a close friendship or a close relationship.
I know I've never been to a Diddy party. So I could look
I've been to a Diddy party.
Oh. Y'all heard that? Glad
I've been saying
Diddy
that.
Party. Oh, I ain't know that.
His son was having a party.
What the?
And who else was there? Justin Bieber was there. Khloe Kardashian was there.
Oh no, I never been.
It wasn't one of these like. I never been to a freak off, but I've been to a regular Diddy party.
I never been to. I know you never been to a freak off. I never been to a Diddy party.
Also, let's not forget when DeBab revealed that the first time he met Beyonce was at Diddy's house.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean?
Now, the baby didn't say anything wild was happening at Diddy's party, but fans are definitely raising their eyebrows because it's clear that Jay-Z and Beyonce were close to Diddy for years, and now people are wondering just how much they knew about Diddy's alleged crimes. And with all the proof that Jay and Beyonce were close to Diddy and attended multiple parties at his place, it's pretty strange that the Carters are now taking the approach of denying they were friends with him instead of just admitting they were close but denying any involvement or knowledge of illegal activities. And that's exactly what's making fans suspicious, because it's hard to believe the Carters never heard any rumors about Diddy's questionable behavior over the years. Meanwhile, they stayed friends with him, supported each other publicly, and hung out privately. Now you know the Beehive's going crazy now that Beyonce's name is getting dragged into this Diddy drama again, and they're definitely working to overtime to defend Beyonce. One fan went off on people bringing up Beyonce in connection to Diddy and said, "It's weird that y'all don't like Beyonce so much that y'all are trying to tie her to something she has nothing to do with. First, it was people begging for her to be on the Epstein list, and now y'all want her to be linked to Diddy in some way. Imagine hating someone for no reason so bad that you'll try to link her to evil people so y'all can get rid of her, and it ain't happening. But see, the thing is, we don't need to try hard to connect Beyonce to Diddy. There's plenty of proof out there showing her at Diddy's parties and videos of Diddy talking about how close he was to the Carters. In fact, when Jay and Beyonce had their twins in 2017, Diddy called it a big moment for their inner circle.
I mean, all over the world, people have been talking. I don't know if the twins, Beyonce and Jay.
Yeah.
I know that you are pretty close to them.
Yes, yes.
I wonder, have you been able to reach out? Have you been able to say
Yeah, definitely. It's a big moment for like our whole crew, our whole inner circle.
So here's the deal. Diddy's out here calling Jay his brother and strategist, saying that Jay and Beyonce are part of his inner circle, but now Jay's claiming there was no friendship between them, and Beyonce is acting like none of this has anything to do with her. Yet you really can't blame people for side-eyeing the Carters. Even if they're not guilty of any of Diddy's alleged crimes themselves, it's hard to believe they didn't have any idea what he was up to, especially after spending so many years so close to him. But let's hear your thoughts on all this, especially this new lawsuit against Diddy and the man who claims Beyonce saw him in that mask. Do you think Beyonce knows more about Diddy's alleged crimes than she's letting on? And why do you think Jay-Z is only defending himself and not his wife? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss this next video.